Sticking with Marvel, let's go to WandaVision. There's been 4 episodes so far. I want to start off by saying, if they didn't release those first 2 episodes at once, I feel like more people would have dropped off because those first 2 episodes were the most boring episodes. But the 3rd episode picked up fast, and then the 4th episode pretty much gave all the people that basically were impatient, all of the things they needed to go, okay, the show is going to be what you think it is. You just have to be a bit patient with it. So, people used to seeing everything at once. So when things come out week by week, they get impatient because they literally just want everything to happen at once. They want them to get straight to the point and the action and to reveal all of the secrets. And it's like, bro, chill, calm down. The show.
Personally, I didn't even find the first 2 episodes boring. I thought they were like really not exciting, but like they were fun. Like I really liked what they were going for and stuff like that. And so like people are like, oh, this is boring, this is boring, this is boring. Like let it have its course. Let it run its course. Give it time. Like
the show was barely on and people are like, it's boring. Like
right.
It started. Literally
right.
Just started. If they didn't do 2 episodes at once, it would have been only 1 episode. And then we're like, how are you gonna say it's boring? The show just started. It was literally 1 episode, but this time it was 2. In my opinion, I think the first episode was completely unnecessary and they should have just started with the 2nd episode and kind of combined the 1st and 2nd episode into one, because they basically felt, in my opinion, in terms of, I know it's supposed to be the 50s and then the 60s, I feel like the difference between the comedy in those 2 eras they were just so similar that there was no need for them to really give them 2 separate episodes. If anything, maybe put them together and make one longer episode, like a 45-minute episode instead of a 23-minute episode. I think that would have been fine as a premiere, especially since it's the 1st episode. Having it be longer than the other episodes, or at least longer than the middle episodes, because the last few episodes of the series are definitely going to be probably around an hour long. I think that would have been smart to basically combine the first 2 episodes into 1 episode rather than releasing them as 2 separate episodes at once. Because the first episode to me was, I would say I did find the first episode boring, but I did enjoy the 2nd episode because of the magic scene, and the magic scene entertained me a lot, and the very last scene, which we talked about without spoiling it, but now we're going to get into spoilers. So spoiler alert, the last scene where she said no and rewound time, I think that 2nd episode was a better jumping off point than the 1st episode was. And whenever I rewatch the show, I don't know if I'll watch the 1st episode. I'll probably start from the 2nd episode.
I'll definitely start from the 1st one. I really like the 1st one because I love old sitcoms, like old 50s and 60s sitcoms, and that was definitely a very Mother Knows Best or Leave It to Beaver type sitcom. I don't know if you've seen either of those shows because they're both very old.
I don't know.
But that's very much so in the same vein of what they were doing with that one. I feel like the 2nd episode was very I Love Lucy-ish, which I also love I Love Lucy. That's a really good old sitcom. But I really liked the 1st episode because of the Dennis the Menace, Leave It to Beaver, Mother Knows Best type things. I really like that.
So for me, I definitely, not just because of how much more kind of hints as to what's going on happened in episode 3 isn't. I said that completely wrong. I'm confused. I confused myself trying to say that. I liked episode 3 more, not just because of it having more hints to what's going on, but also I feel like I definitely enjoy the 70s sitcom more than the 50s and 60s. And I've seen more 70s sitcoms than I have 50s and 60s, though I have seen some of them.
I definitely prefer 70s sitcoms, but yeah. I think 90s sitcoms are probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Cosby Show, Different World.
They're definitely most likely, it would be a waste that they didn't do Full House because her sisters were in Full House. So if they don't do Full House with her, plus with her having twin kids, it would be a waste that they don't do Full House with Elizabeth Olsen when her sisters, the Olsen twins, were in that show. But we're gonna let's just get a little into detail. I don't want to go too long because we have others to talk about, but the stork is 100% Mephisto. I feel like they give little hints at it over and over again, like with
Oh wait, no, it's not Mephisto.
I feel like
He's not the villain. I will die on this hill.
Here's the
I
thing.
will straight up die on this hill. He's not the villain.
I feel like they're giving too many hints towards the devil in this show.
There's like 70 different versions of the devil in Marvel, and that's another thing I keep trying to get people to
there's
understand.
only one version of the devil that is specifically tied to these kids being born.
But that's also very different context to that happening, though. And he also didn't have to do with them being born the first time they were born. He had to do with them being born the second time around after Wanda's reality got destroyed.
The entirety of the MCU is a completely different way of...
No, but that's what I'm saying. Tommy and Billy, the first time they were born, didn't have anything to do with Mephisto. It's after they died after House of M, or not died, but like after they like ceased to exist after House of M. That's when he brought them back. That's when he made Tommy and Billy like whole, like real people again. Before that, he had nothing to do with that before. That was just all Wanda.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but in the comics when Spider-Man's identity was revealed, didn't he make a deal with Mephisto to like fix that?
No, he made a deal with Mephisto because his identity got leaked. Aunt May got killed. Right. And he made a deal with Mephisto that the Aunt May would get to be brought back to life,
right,
if he sacrificed his marriage to Mary Jane.
Right. So hear me out. I think that there are too many linking points to this potentially being Mephisto for it not to be Mephisto. And you're right, it could literally be any other devil, or not a devil at all, and it could just be Wanda. But I feel like one, it's already confirmed that Doctor Strange is going to be in the show eventually, and this is tying into Multiverse of Madness, as Spider-Man is also tying into Multiverse of Madness. And having Mephisto, who is a big part of the Spider-Man universe and a big part of Wanda and Vision's universe and Doctor Strange, and having
he's not a big part of Doctor Strange. That's what I want to bring up. Then
it wouldn't make sense for it not to there are too many connecting points for them not to do it. It's a little.
I have a few theories.
Obvious.
I have a few theories. My first theory is that it's that Satana. Satana is a big Doctor Strange character. Mephisto is not that involved in Doctor Strange stuff. Satana is a love interest of Doctor Strange and a repeated recurring villain of Doctor Strange. She's also involved with quite a bit of Wanda's reality warping in the past. And I believe she may have been involved in a Spider-Man story, but I don't really know. I'd have to go back and see that. But that's my first theory. My second theory is that Wanda is doing this all on her own. Mephisto is involved, but he's not the villain. Mephisto is also not generally a villain. He's just more of a conceptual being. He's just a necessary evil. He's not like an acting like Thanos type character. Like, he's not a villain. So my theory is that because we see that Vision is still dead, so we know Vision is dead for a fact, my theory is that Mephisto made Wanda a deal that he gets to, Vision gets to live. She gets to live a happy life with Vision so long as neither of them leave their reality. And that's why Wanda is so insistent on nothing disrupting it. That's why Wanda is so insistent on him staying there. And we see that she is in complete control and she knows what she's doing. And we see that very clearly at the end of episode 4. She knows exactly what she's doing, what's going on.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I think he's in control of anything. I am of the side that she is in control of what's happening.
Oh, she's in control of everything.
I think that he's taking advantage of what she's doing. And like you said, behind the scenes is doing subtle things throughout the series. I don't think he's in full control of everything. I think Wanda has some semblance of control, but he is still there.
I don't even think that he's influencing much of anything aside from bringing back Vision, because my whole thing is he has no reason to. He has no motivation. There's no motivation behind.
As far as we know, he doesn't have any motivation.
But even if there's nothing that he would gain from it though. That's my whole thing. Like, there's absolutely nothing.
Anything could happen.
Maybe, I don't know. But also, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there has been leaked footage of the 6th episode.
No.
Okay, I'm just saying my theory's sounding more and more plausible. That's all I'm saying.
But okay. So